The present moment is the only one you truly own. The past is a story you tell yourself, a collection of memories and experiences that have shaped you, but it is no longer tangible. You cannot go back and change a single word or action. It is over. Trying to live in the past, dwelling on mistakes, or clinging to former glories is a sure way to lose the only opportunity you have to act. Similarly, the future is an abstract concept, a potential reality that is constantly shifting based on the decisions you make right now. It is a necessary tool for planning and setting goals, but it is not a place you can inhabit. Worrying about the future is a form of mental paralysis that robs you of your power in the present. The concept of the present as a currency is a powerful metaphor because it highlights its finite and valuable nature. Unlike a bank account, you can't accumulate moments for later use. Every single second that passes is spent, whether you are conscious of it or not. The quality of your life, therefore, is directly proportional to how you choose to spend this currency. Are you investing your moments in growth, connection, and purpose, or are you squandering them on distraction, fear, and procrastination? This moment is a non-refundable, non-transferable asset. The sand is always falling, and the only thing you can control is what you do while it falls. To master the present is to gain control over your entire existence. It means you are no longer a passenger in your own life, but the one holding the steering wheel. When you are fully present, your mind is not scattered between regrets of the past and anxieties of the future. You are focused on the task at hand, the conversation happening right now, the feeling in your body. This state of focused awareness is where true productivity, deep connection, and then genuine joy reside. It's a practice of bringing your attention back to the breath, the sensation, and the experience that is unfolding right now, not a minute from now, not an hour from now. Most people live on autopilot, their minds drifting from one thought to the next, reacting to external stimuli without a moment of conscious thought. This is the difference between living and merely existing. When you live in the present, you are engaged with the world, not just passing through it. You notice the small details, you listen with intent, and you act with purpose. This shift from a reactive state to a proactive state is the foundation of personal mastery. It's about being the conscious observer of your own life rather than being swept away by the current of your thoughts. Embracing the present is not about ignoring the past or the future. It's about using them as tools rather than letting them become your masters. The past can be a teacher offering lessons to be learned, but it is not a place to live. The future can be a guide providing a direction for your actions, but it is not a place to worry. Your power is in the now. The action you take today determines what your life will look like tomorrow. The words you say today can heal or harm. The choice you make today can change your entire trajectory. This moment is where all your power lies. Happiness is not a prize waiting at the end of a long race. It is the act of choosing to run with joy in your heart, regardless of the terrain. The common mistake is to view happiness as a destination, something to be achieved. When a certain condition is met, when I get the promotion, when I find a partner, when I have enough money. This is a flawed premise because it outsources your emotional well-being to external circumstances that you don't fully control. It creates a perpetual state of waiting where the present moment is devalued in favor of a promised future that may never arrive in the way you envision it. This approach sets you up for constant disappointment because true, lasting happiness isn't a reward for reaching a goal. It is a skill you practice daily. To choose happiness means to consciously shift your perspective even in the face of adversity. This isn't about being naive or ignoring problems. It's about acknowledging the reality of a situation and deciding how you will respond to it. For instance, when traffic makes you late, you have a choice. You can choose to become angry and frustrated, or you can choose to accept the situation and use the time to listen to a podcast, practice breathing exercises, or simply observe your surroundings. This choice is the difference between being a victim of your circumstances and the master of your own emotional state. It's an act of taking responsibility for your inner world rather than letting external events dictate it. This practice is deeply rooted in the concept of internal locus of control. People with a strong internal locus of control believe that they are the primary cause of the good things that happen in their lives, and therefore they are more likely to take proactive steps to improve their situations. In contrast, those with an external locus of control tend to believe that external forces or luck are responsible for their outcomes. By choosing happiness, you are actively developing an internal locus of control. You are saying, I am responsible for my own joy, regardless of what's happening outside of me. This is where true power lies, because while you can't control the world, you can always control your reaction to it. Cultivating happiness as a choice is a daily discipline, much like physical fitness. It requires consistent effort and attention. It means intentionally seeking out reasons to be grateful, no matter how small. It means reframing negative thoughts and challenging pessimistic beliefs. It involves setting boundaries to protect your energy and engaging in activities that bring you genuine fulfillment. This isn't about ignoring sadness or grief. Those emotions are part of the human experience. It's about not allowing them to define your entire existence. You can feel sadness and still choose to find moments of beauty and joy. It is a nuanced and powerful act of balancing the full spectrum of human emotion. The ultimate freedom comes from realizing that your happiness is not contingent upon anyone or anything else. It is an inside job. The pursuit of external validation, material possessions, or perfect relationships as the source of happiness is a road that ultimately leads to dissatisfaction. When you understand that happiness is a choice, you stop chasing it and start living it. Every morning, you wake up with the opportunity to make a conscious decision. Will you allow your day to be determined by outside forces, or will you choose to create your own inner state of contentment and peace? The choice is simple and the power is entirely yours. The phrase, I will be happy when A, is one of the most insidious and common traps we set for ourselves. It's a false promise because it attaches our emotional well-being to an external event or acquisition that is perpetually in the future. We live in a state of deferred joy, believing that our current dissatisfaction is merely temporary and will be resolved by some future success. This cycle is a form of self-sabotage. You are essentially telling your subconscious mind, I am not worthy of happiness now, and you are giving away your power to forces outside of your control. This mentality ensures us that even when you do achieve that goal, the satisfaction is fleeting because you will immediately create a new I will be happy when to chase. This promise is a mirage that keeps us running but never arriving. The promotion you seek may come with new stressors. The car may feel less thrilling after a few weeks. The new relationship will inevitably face challenges. When happiness is linked to a destination, the journey to get there becomes a source of stress and impatience, rather than an opportunity for growth and learning. We are so focused on the finish line that we fail to appreciate the scenery along the way. We sacrifice the present moment for an illusion of a perfect future, leading to a life lived in constant anticipation rather than genuine experience. This is a treadmill of desire. As soon as you step off, you realize you haven't actually gone anywhere. The problem with this mindset is that it misidentifies the true source of happiness. That is the number R. The lasting joy doesn't come from external achievements. It comes from internal states of being. A new job can bring pleasure and a sense of accomplishment, but it cannot fundamentally change your relationship with yourself. True contentment stems from things like self-acceptance, purpose, and meaningful relationships, all of which are cultivated in the present moment. By focusing on when, you are neglecting the very things that can bring you a deep and abiding sense of peace and joy right now. You are delaying your emotional work, putting it off until some imagined, easier time that will never fully materialize. Ending this cycle requires a radical shift in perspective from chasing to cultivating. Instead of chasing the next achievement, you must learn to cultivate joy in your current circumstances. This means finding gratitude for what you already have, practicing mindfulness to appreciate the small moments, and focusing on the internal work of personal development. It means embracing the imperfections of your current life and recognizing that they are a part of the human experience. When you stop outsourcing your happiness, you begin to take ownership of it. This doesn't mean you stop setting goals, but it changes the relationship you have with them. Goals become tools for growth and purpose, not conditions for your happiness. The "I will be happy when" cycle is a form of procrastination. We are not just delaying a task, we are delaying our own lives. We are putting our emotional well-being on a to-do list that we never get to. The only way to break this pattern is to make a conscious choice to be present and to find happiness in the here and now. This is not about settling, it's about realizing that life's richness is in the journey itself, not just the destination. The freedom comes when you stop chasing something that is already within your reach, and you begin to live a life not of future tense hope, but of present tense joy. You can either be the creator of your life or the reactor to it. That is the number R. The vast majority of people live in a state of reaction, constantly responding to the demands of their environment, their work, their relationships, and even their own thoughts. They are like a ship without a rudder, tossed about by every wave. A colleague sends a critical email, and their mood is instantly ruined. The traffic is heavy, and their day is filled with stress. They receive an unexpected bill, and they feel like a victim of their circumstances. This reactive mode is exhausting and disempowering because it gives away your power to external events. It makes you a puppet, and the world is holding the strings. The shift from a reactive to a proactive state is the essence of personal mastery. It means taking a moment between a stimulus and your response to consciously choose how you will act. This is where freedom lies. For example, when you receive that critical email, you don't immediately fire back an angry reply. You pause, you breathe, you acknowledge the feeling of anger, but you do not let it control you. You then choose a deliberate, constructive response that serves your long, long-term goals, not your short-term emotions. This pause is the most powerful tool you have. It is the moment you reclaim your agency and become the captain of your own ship. Living proactively also means you are not waiting for life to happen to you. You are actively shaping it. This involves making conscious decisions and taking intentional actions rather than just drifting along. Are you unhappy with your job? A reactive person complains about it. A proactive person starts looking for a new one, learns a new skill, or finds ways to improve their current situation. Do you want to be healthier? A reactive person might say, I'm too busy to exercise. A proactive person schedules time for workouts regardless of how busy they are. This shift in mindset transforms you from a spectator into a player in the game of life. The constant state of reaction is often driven by a deep-seated fear of the unknown and a need for external validation. When we react, we're often just trying to get through the moment without confronting deeper issues. Proactive living, however, requires courage. It demands that you confront your fears, take risks, and accept responsibility for the outcomes. It's the difference between waiting for someone to fix your problems and taking the first step to solve them yourself. This might be uncomfortable at first, but it is the only path to a life of purpose and fulfillment. Ultimately, the choice between action and reaction defines the quality of your life. A reactive life is one of chaos and constant struggle, where you are always putting out fires and feeling overwhelmed. A proactive life is one of purpose and intention, where you are building a life you truly want to live brick by brick. You can choose to be the person who responds to every text message the moment it arrives, or you can choose to be the person who sets aside dedicated time to focus on their goals. The world will always provide stimuli, but it is your choice whether to be a leaf in the wind or a tree with deep roots. The power to create your reality is in your hands, not the world's. We're all guilty of it, living as if our current existence is just a trial run. We put off our dreams, our passions, and our well-being until someday, when the conditions are perfect. We tell ourselves, I'll start that business when I have more money, or I'll travel when the kids are older, or I'll finally get healthy after the holidays. This mental habit of postponing your life is a profound form of self-deception. It suggests that the present moment, the only one you truly have, is a meaningless waiting room for a better, more significant future. It's a fundamental misunderstanding of how life works. Life is happening right now, in the imperfect, messy, and complicated reality of today. This tendency to delay is a silent killer of dreams and a massive source of anxiety. It creates a chasm between who you are and who you want to be, and the only bridge across that chasm is action in the present. The truth is, the conditions will never be perfect. There will always be a reason not to start, whether it's a lack of time, money, or energy. Waiting for the perfect moment is a clever excuse to avoid the discomfort of taking a risk, of failing, or of putting in the hard work. You're not just postponing a task, you're postponing your own happiness and fulfillment. Life is not a rehearsal. There is no do-over. Every single day is the main event. What are you doing with the one you have? Are you living it fully, or are you just enduring it? We treat our days like we have an infinite supply, but that's a dangerous illusion. Each sunrise is an opportunity you will never get back. The moments you spend waiting for a better time are moments you are actively choosing not to live. This isn't about ignoring responsibilities or being reckless. It's about shifting your mindset to see the value in the now. It's about recognizing that you can start building the life you want with the resources you have right now. The antidote to postponing your life is decisive action. It's about taking that first small step, even if you don't see the entire path ahead. Do you want to learn a new skill? Don't wait for a dedicated week. Spend 15 minutes today watching a tutorial. Do you want to connect with a loved one? Don't wait for a long weekend. Send them a meaningful text message right now. This is a practice of micro actions. Each one a vote for the person you want to become. These small, deliberate choices accumulate over time and build momentum. You'll find that by taking action, you not only make progress, but also build confidence, which makes future actions even easier. Ultimately, stop treating your life like a dress rehearsal for a performance that might never happen. The performance is happening right now. The time to live is now. The time to start building is now. The time to choose happiness is now. Stop waiting for the stars to align, for the planets to be in perfect order, or for some external sign that it's finally the right time. The sign you're looking for is the beating of your own heart. It's the constant, undeniable proof that you are alive and that this moment is all you have. Most people are conditioned to believe that happiness is found in grand, dramatic events, a wedding, a promotion, a major vacation. But this is a fleeting, unreliable source of joy. True, lasting happiness is not a grand spectacle. It is a quiet, continuous stream of contentment found in the mundane. It is in the simple act of a morning coffee, the warmth of the sun on your face, the feeling of a quiet walk, or the deep, satisfying breath you take when you pause. When you train yourself to appreciate these small, ordinary moments, you are no longer waiting for life to bring you joy. You are creating it from the fabric of your daily existence. The beauty of finding joy in the mundane is its accessibility. You don't need money, status, or a change in circumstances. The opportunities for appreciation are endless and always available to you. It's a fundamental shift in perception. Instead of rushing through your breakfast to get to the next task, you slow down, notice the taste and temperature of your food, and appreciate the simple nourishment it provides. Instead of seeing a chore like washing dishes as a burden, you can choose to see it as a meditation, focusing on the warmth of the water and the smooth motion of your hands. This isn't about romanticizing drudgery. It's about reclaiming your attention and placing it on the reality of the present, rather than letting it drift into future anxieties or past regrets. The practice of finding joy in the small things is a form of mindfulness. It's about being fully present in whatever you are doing, no matter how insignificant it seems. When you are mindful, you are not just performing an action, you are experiencing it. This level of engagement transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. A simple conversation with a loved one becomes an opportunity for deep connection. A walk to the grocery store becomes a chance to notice the changing seasons or the colors of the sky. This practice builds a deep sense of gratitude and makes you more resilient to life's larger challenges because you have a constant source of inner peace to fall back on. This approach combats the modern obsession with external stimulation. We are constantly seeking the next high, the next viral video, the next purchase, the next thrilling experience, because we have been taught to see the ordinary as boring. But true richness is found in the depths of simplicity. A life that is constantly chasing peak experiences is an exhausting one, and it leaves you feeling empty during the long stretches in between. By cultivating an appreciation for the mundane, you are building a life that is consistently rewarding and joyful, not one that relies on rare moments of excitement to feel alive. Ultimately, your life is not made up of a few spectacular events. It is composed of countless mundane moments. If you neglect these moments, you are neglecting your entire life. By embracing the small joys, you are not just becoming a happier person, you are becoming a more present, grateful, and grounded one. The goal is to get to a point where you find as much fulfillment in a quiet afternoon reading a book as you do on a grand adventure. The richness of your life is not measured by the number of events, but by the depth of your presence in each one. Blaming others for your unhappiness is a convenient but ultimately powerless position. It's easy to point the finger at a difficult boss, an unsupportive partner, or a past trauma and say, that is why I am the way I am. While these external factors may be real and challenging, they are not the sole determinants of your emotional state. When you blame, you are giving away your personal power. You are saying that your well-being is dependent on someone or something else changing, and since you cannot control them, you are left in a state of helplessness. Taking responsibility, on the other hand, is the single most empowering act you can perform. It is the recognition that while you can't control what happens to you, you can always control your reaction to it. Taking responsibility isn't about blaming yourself for every bad thing that has happened. It's about owning your choices and your emotions. It's about looking at your life and saying, regardless of the hand I was dealt, what am I going to do with it now? This mindset shift is transformative. A person who blames their circumstances for their financial struggles will likely stay stuck. A person who takes responsibility will ask, what can I do to improve my situation? What skills can I learn? What actions can I take? The first person is waiting for a miracle. The second person is creating one. This level of ownership is the foundation of true freedom. When you take responsibility, you stop being a victim and start being a proactive agent in your own life. This applies to every area. That is the number R, from your relationships to your career to your health. A healthy relationship isn't just about finding the right person. It's about being the right person and taking responsibility for your own communication, your own emotional regulation, and your own growth. A successful career isn't just about getting lucky. It's about taking responsibility for your work ethic, your continuous learning, and your attitude. Blaming gives away your power. Responsibility reclaims it. The biggest obstacle to taking responsibility is the fear of being at fault. We're afraid that if we admit to our own role in our problems, it means we are flawed or weak. But the opposite is true. Admitting your role is a sign of immense strength and courage. It is an act of humility that opens the door to change. When you stop externalizing your problems, you stop seeking external solutions and begin to look inward. This is where you find the seeds of transformation in your own capacity for resilience, learning, and growth. Ultimately, no one is coming to save you. No one is going to swoop in and magically solve your problems or make you happy. Your happiness is an inside job, and it's your own responsibility. Every moment you spend blaming something else is a moment you are wasting the opportunity to create a better life for yourself. The path to a happy and fulfilling life begins not with finding a perfect external situation, but with the simple, powerful realization that you are in control of your own internal world. This is the first and most critical step on the journey of personal mastery. Most people are conditioned to believe that happiness is found in grand, dramatic events, a wedding, a promotion, a major vacation. But this is a fleeting, unreliable source of joy. True, that is the number R. The A is sting. Happiness is not a grand spectacle. It is a quiet, continuous stream of contentment found in the mundane. It is in the simple act of a morning coffee, the warmth of the sun on your face, the feeling of a quiet walk, or the deep, satisfying breath you take when you pause. When you train yourself to appreciate these small, ordinary moments, you are no longer waiting for life to bring you joy. You are creating it from the fabric of your daily existence. The beauty of finding joy in the mundane is its accessibility. You don't need money, status, or a change in circumstances. The opportunities for appreciation are endless and always available to you. It's a fundamental shift in perception. Instead of rushing through your breakfast to get to the next task, you slow down, notice the taste and temperature of your food, and appreciate the simple nourishment it provides. Instead of seeing a chore like washing dishes as a burden, you can choose to see it as a meditation, focusing on the warmth of the water and the smooth motion of your hands. This isn't about romanticizing drudgery. It's about reclaiming your attention and placing it on the reality of the present, rather than letting it drift into future anxieties or past regrets. The practice of finding joy in the small things is a form of mindfulness. It's about being fully present in whatever you are doing, no matter how insignificant it seems. When you are mindful, you are not just performing an action, you are experiencing it. This level of engagement transforms the ordinary into the extraordinary. A simple conversation with a loved one becomes an opportunity for deep connection. A walk to the grocery store becomes a chance to notice the changing seasons or the colors of the sky. This practice builds a deep sense of gratitude and makes you more resilient to life's larger challenges, because you have a constant source of inner peace to fall back on. This approach combats the modern obsession with external stimulation. We are constantly seeking the next high, the next viral video, the next purchase, the next thrilling experience, because we have been taught to see the ordinary as boring. But true richness is found in the depths of simplicity. A life that is constantly chasing peak experiences is an exhausting one, and it leaves you feeling empty during the long stretches in between. By cultivating an appreciation for the mundane, you are building a life that is consistently rewarding and joyful, not one that relies on rare moments of excitement to feel alive. Ultimately, your life is not made up of a few spectacular events. It is composed of countless mundane moments. If you neglect these moments, you are neglecting your entire life. By embracing the small joys, you are not just becoming a happier person, you are becoming a more present, grateful, and grounded one. The goal is to get to a point where you find as much fulfillment in a quiet afternoon reading a book as you do on a grand adventure. The richness of your life is not measured by the number of events, but by the depth of your presence in each one. The final key point is perhaps the most critical, because it is the ignition. We can understand all the previous points, the importance of the present, the choice of happiness, the need for action over reaction, but without a catalyst, this knowledge remains theoretical. We tell ourselves, I'll start meditating tomorrow, or I'll begin my new diet on Monday, or I'll finally make that tough decision next week. This is a form of passive avoidance. The truth is, there is no perfect moment, no grand sign from the universe, and no special permission slip to begin. The only time that exists for you to act is right now. Procrastination is often disguised as planning. We spend hours thinking about our goals, making lists, and researching the perfect strategy, all while taking zero action. This gives us the illusion of progress without the risk of failure. Don't wait for motivation to strike. Motivation often follows action. It doesn't precede it. By taking a single small step, you create momentum. That is the number R. The A, initial action, no matter how tiny, generates the energy and confidence you need to take the next one. It is the simple act of putting one foot in front of the other that makes the journey possible. The time to live is now. The time to change is now. This isn't just a motivational slogan. It is a fundamental truth of existence. The person you want to become is built in the present, not in the future. Every single day, your choices are either reinforcing old, negative habits or building new, positive ones. The choice to start a new habit, break a bad one, or pursue a goal is made in a single moment. It's in the moment you decide to put down the phone and pick up a book, the moment you choose to put on your running shoes, or the moment you decide to have that difficult but necessary conversation. The belief that you need permission from an external source, a new year, a birthday, a life-changing event, is a crutch. You are your own permission. You are the only person who can grant yourself the freedom to begin. This is about taking ownership of your timeline. There is no waiting period for your own happiness. The fear of starting, of failing, or of not being good enough is just a story. The only way to rewrite that story is to begin writing a new one word at a time, one action at a time. The change you seek begins with a single, conscious choice made this very moment. Stop waiting for the stars to align. Stop waiting for a feeling of readiness. The feeling of readiness comes from action. So stand up, take ownership, stop waiting, begin.